Since the beginning of teen spaces, there's always with it some teenage love triangles and dramas like Sabrina and Olivia over Joshua, and Miley Celine over Nick Jonas, and always we see with it the messages on their hit songs, the shady of comebacks, the cringy the Volvoli or wait either the fuck. And sometimes these love triangles end with the three condoling each other and sometimes not. But what if I told you there's a teenage love triangle that isn't like your average one? A love triangle that involves murder, drugs, trafficking, bad girls club styles of fight, and more rampage. And this love triangle was hidden in a plain sight, that's no one ever thought of it. Today we're gonna talk about the love triangle of two teen idol of the 80s, that it's Debbie Gibson and Tiffany, and soon to be early 90s heartthrob. In late 1980s theirs wasn't really a teen space in music, maybe expect in movies, but still. It was filled pedophile femme-homophobic rock stars and slutty pop icons like Madonna and Whitney Houston. But in 1986 a 15-year-old Debbie Gibson released her debut single, I Wanna Shook the World, and it became an instant hit, debuting at number 5 on Billboard Hot 100. The magazines were obsessed with Debbie, saw a new voice, a new face, and even hinting at her possibly of ending Madonna's career after successfully ending Cindy's. In 1987, Debbie released her debut album, Debbie Friday, which going on number 1 on Billboard Hot 100 for 300 weeks. A number that even Michael Jackson was shook honey. Despite the success, there's always a controversies and backlash. Debbie was seen as another Madonna, slutty, bad girl who's cool, unapologetically bitchy, and more, especially with the 7th track of her album Trump the Bill, which it's rumored to be a diss track towards Donald Trump and his wife. However, another teenage girl with an amazing voice got noticed and signed for a deal, and that girl is Tiffany. Tiffany released her debut single I Don't Think We're Alone alongside her self-titled debut and went on to become an instant hit, going on number 2 on Billboard Hot 100 and selling over 690,420 copies first weeks, while Debbie's album still going on number 1. However, despite the rivalry rumors, Debbie and Tiffany were seen as best friends, an opposite attract. Debbie was a bad girl who's think she's cool rebel heart, and Tiffany was your average girl next door. Debbie was dating a long-haired clockable T-doll, Gunnar Nelson from the Nelson Band, while Tiffany was dating a fruited wunk heartthrob Jonathan Knight. However, their relationships lasted for a year and our two girls would become singles. However, while Debbie was working on her second album, she met a guy she thought was cute, a guy with sensible style and a funny humor, and that's Will Smith. She found him very handsome, very sweet and caring, and they start dating. Will and Debbie became the 80s teen couple, the 80s Britney and Justin and Miley and Nick. However, despite everything, unfortunately this relationship would soon be crushed, after Will Smith break up with her. Tiffany, of course the good friend that she is, was always ready to comfort and be there for her friend. The relationship took effect on Debbie that she decided, it's time to be the ultimate bad bitch. Debbie cut her hair too short and rocked the red lipstick, which was very scandalous and Scandinavian of her. But while all that, Debbie Hart would be shredded, this time is by her close friend who thought she was her sister. In May 1989, magazines were flooded with pictures of Will Smith and Tiffany hugging and going out at night. This of course bring a backlash towards Tiffany, as the guy she's going out with was the same one who broke her sister heart. But Tiffany was trying to deny the dating rumors, and saying he was just helping her with her groceries, and that picture of them hugging is fake and it was actually another woman whom is a backup singer for some flop. Despite this, the backlash didn't stop and her sorry-ass statements didn't help her either. When the interviewers were asking Debbie about the situation, Debbie's response was she really didn't care about Tiffany and Will Smith and that she's know her sister very well, and also believed that Will Smith was the mastermind behind, as he paid the paparazzi, so these pictures can help his sorry-ass acting career so he won't making gay porn movies as a way of living.
Oh, now that's how you clear a bitch.
What the fuck are you?
In late May 1989 it changed everything, as another home picture of Tiffany and Will Smith hugging and cuddling were leaked and flooded the tabloids. But what's more shocking than that, is that Tiffany response and said quote, "Yes, me and Will are dating, I had to show him the real source, it's not my fault he was trapped dating a unseasoned cracker, who had to rip off Madonna's style." This of course breaks Debbie's heart, but instead of crying and flooded her face with tears, Debbie flooded her phone bills by repeatedly calling Tiffany's phone and her home phone number by telling her to meet her outside and fight, a fight which Debbie won from it, despite Tiffany saying to the tabloids that she made Debbie cry to her mum's lap, but she caught lying as the fight was filmed by neighbor's kid as seen right here. In June of that year, Debbie released her second album Electric These Hoes, which was a major success, selling over 400,000 copies first weeks. A number of course was done by Debbie's weird and selfish marketing of releasing 274,647,273,858 variants of the same album. Her first single Electric These Hoes was released but with major backlash, as the music video was banned by MTV, for Debbie's dance moves, which was seeing as dance moves the gang members and Italian mafia was doing before they go and kill their opponents, and also the song was featuring some of the lyrics that could be seen as a diss track towards her ex-boyfriend Will and her ex-friend Tiffany. She said quote, "Bad bitch still got the attitude, yo man liking in the butt, ain't no one buying your album, throwback hoe, in a year, how tragic." Also her second single No More Hits became an instant hit, but also was a diss track towards Madonna as the lyrics were hinting at Madonna's too many banned music videos, and the deal with Pepsi that got cancelled right away. The lyrics said quote, "Tell that bitch with black hair to run it lick MJ, till my debut sold more than your album, drop a tear, has been still need to show her pussy, can't rhyme or came up with something else." When asked about the lyrics and if there's a respond, Madonna responds to the question by saying, "Why the fuck MTV still playing Whitney Houston? I'm gonna kill myself, I swear to God." While there's many speculations of Tiffany's response to Debbie, many people thought that Tiffany was a weak ass, and probably won't bother to come back after the backlash. However, Tiffany released her second album To Hold a Hoe, and with it she released two singles that was meant as a diss track response to Debbie's. Oh Debbie was about Debbie's train wreck decisions, while Tiffany calling out Debbie's worried dating history of older men and problematic men. The lyrics said quote, "Claiming to be rebellious by dating old men. Oh Debbie, how you gonna say you love your gay fans while dating homophobes? Oh Debbie, a hypocrite girl, with no real clout, saying my man has to rely on these stuff, while you begging to be on Playboy cover. Oh Debbie." Another that it's Trump chick, which was very confusing and random to some people as Tiffany were throwing shots at Trump. But Tiffany told the Bop magazine that the single was called Tramp Chick and that was just to play words, but also she confirmed that she did in fact was throwing shots at Donald Trump, and she recalls the time after she performed her hit debut single at his boyfriend's mall the rampage was happened and he decided to pull the blame on her and her fans. That of course pissed Tiffany off, as it was confirmed that the boys was Donald Trump's stans. Tiffany responds to Trump and Debbie by the lyrics saying quote, "She's a fucking mess with that short hair, you ain't no Diana or Madonna, you's a tramp, chicken eating nuggets, and baby I ain't no Trump the Bill, tell that Trump chicken to say it to my face, if he can't say it." A week after the single was released, Tiffany released the music video for it. Everyone was shook by Tiffany's new look, but it was banned on MTV for again Tiffany's mafia dance moves and also hand signs. In the music video there was a shot of Tiffany holding her breasts, a pose where Tiffany said that she's did it as a jab towards Debbie and how her cups are bigger than cup. In July of that same year both Tiffany and Debbie was arrested.
Hot like stolen Chanel, lock me up in jail.
Investigations was revealed to the public that Tiffany and Debbie Gibson was actually gang members of the same drug network. Police reveals after they raided Tiffany's home at night and saw over 3,000 packages of cocaine and marijuana, and also found over 2 million packages and boxes of cocaine and weed and many drugs that she got from her DL trade boyfriends. The discovery was shocking, and Debbie Tiffany was sentenced to 30 years in prison. But while they were in prison, Debbie was trying to seduce the guard. After she succeeded, she stabbed 19 times in his chest and took the keys. And in early August police released statements that Debbie and Tiffany ran away and did a $5 million worth of bounty to capture them. After years of hiding, police was tired and decided to forget about them as they now became a throwback 80s artists. That made Debbie and Tiffany released a video after 28 years. A video where they were bragging and laughing about how they got away with it, and also of course Debbie and Tiffany was doing the same band mafia dance moves as a jab towards the police. The story ends here and now both Debbie and Tiffany are friends again. Happy fucking ending, I guess.